many fans are upset about the ending of Super Bowl 57 that don't even have a rooting interest for the Eagles is that it was such an incredible game, and we were robbed because of the penalty. Properly called, I think, although I wouldn't have minded if the official just kept the flag in his pocket. That we were robbed of Jalen Hurts sending the game to overtime or perhaps winning it for the Eagles. And your initial reporting or what you're hearing about the league's thoughts on such an incredibly played Super Bowl coming down to a yellow flag, Peter.
You know, Rich, I have not asked a soul in the league or on the competition committee what they thought.
Mm-hmm.
That is how it ended. But you just said it. And this is the thing that, in my opinion, everybody is saying, well, yes, it was properly called, but what? But what? I understand that it would have been a lot more fun if Jalen Hurts had a minute 40 and one timeout and the ball at the 25-yard line, down 3 to go make his legend. I get it. We all know that. But you know what? It's not a Hollywood script all the time. It's reality. The reality is that Juju Smith-Schuster was restricted by James Bradbury, not severely, not overly significantly. I understand that. But let me ask you this, and I've asked a bunch of people this. I think it was Rich Gannon. Somebody said this on Twitter, and I think it's the perfect thing. If with a minute 48 to go on that play, okay, right before it happened, if, let's just say, Orlando Brown false started, okay, and when he false started, in essence, he and it wasn't called,
mm-hmm.
and it wasn't called. Every analyst would say, "Oh my God, Kansas City got another chance because they didn't call this false start, and it's an obvious false start." I mean, and oftentimes a false start is only a twitch. It's just a tiny movement, but you got to call it. And Rich, until this is just the way I feel, and I understand. I would have loved to have seen it too.
Mm-hmm.
We all would have. But the fact is, you know, if the play was going to be called, I mean, if it was a penalty, and most people seem to think that it wasn't terrible, but it was enough to be called for a penalty. The fact is, I just can't go crazy. And until the NFL says we're going to have some rules for the first 58 minutes, and then in the last 2 minutes we're just going to, quote, let them play like it's an NBA game, end quote. Until that happens, I don't really have a problem with what happened at the end of the game.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.